All right, so before we get into that activity that I gave you guys, what I want us to do is I just want to quickly present Learning Unit 2, the theory side. So I want us to just go through that. It's very few slides. And then maybe before I even go to the slides, your homework. Homework for tomorrow. I told you, I don't want you guys thinking that this is a theory module. This is a calculation oriented. We just did that to understand the numbers. But Learning Unit 1 is all theory. So that you can study and master in your own time. But what I want us to do for homework is exercises 1 to 4, revision exercises 1 to 4 for Learning Unit 2. Okay? So those of you who don't have your workbook should be accessible actually via the student material. So just get it and then obviously do the necessary exercises so that tomorrow you're not left behind. I don't know the pages. The pages you have to find. I'm not. I don't want. That's Learning Unit 1, by the way. I'm talking Learning Unit 2. Learning Unit 2. I can see from the tables. Good. Continue. You'll see. Revision exercises for. Yeah. What? Based on Learning Unit 2. There's 4 formulas that you need to know there. You got those 4 formulas, then you can do those exercises. Okay? So it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Okay, but let's get into this. This is also not a lot. Okay? It's not a lot. Right, so let's get into this. Learning Unit 2 is index numbers. Index numbers. Okay? High technology is betraying me today. The disrespect. Class is over. No, but our sister just arrived. We have to continue for her sake. We have to. Have you ever heard of the concept no soldier left behind? No soldier. She's not. Anyway, so let's get into this. So, explaining outcomes. Sorry, guys. Learning objectives. Explain the significance of index numbers in the real world. Differentiate between simple and complex index numbers. Differentiate between unweighted and weighted index numbers. And then finally, calculate and interpret index numbers such as the specific weighted composite price and quantity indexes of Lascaris and Pashi. I do not know how to pronounce those, but yeah, we will look into it. So what are index numbers? All right, these are statistical measures used to express changes in a variable or a group of related variables over time, okay? Relative to a base, all right? Now, we often use this in financial related data or economic related data, all right? But we could use maybe one in the context of academics. You could say, what was my percentage pass rate in relation to last year's pass rate for this module? Okay, was there an increase or was there a decrease? Okay, because remember, it's the expressing changes in the variable, all right? Or sometimes it's a group of variables. So all my respective modules, I have statistics, I have knowledge management for the 3rd years, and then I have business management, so forth, so forth. So that would now be a group of related modules, all right? Then here they give some example, prices, quantities, and other measurable factors, all right? Definition. An index number is a percentage ratio formed by comparing the value of a variable in a particular period with its value in a base period. The base period is typically before, all right? And then, yeah, we're obviously analyzing this year's in comparison to last year. So last year would be our base year, all right? Index number indicates the percentage change from the base period. Did we increase? Did we decrease? Okay. So that is that in a nutshell. Then here, I'm just giving examples of where this is applicable in the real world. So CPI, Consumer Price Index, which we use to measure inflation. Okay. Economic growth, we use GDP. GDP is an index. Okay. I'm sure you've seen some of these things in economics, ne? Yeah, it's nice. Then financial markets, stock market indexes. So in South Africa, we obviously have the, what you call it, all share index. We also have the, what else? JSC top 40 index. Okay. There you can gauge market performance. Did it increase? Did it go down? America, we have obviously have the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, which is the same as what we have here in terms of all share and top 40. All right, again, further examples. Okay, so I'm not going to waste time going through this. Right. Okay, in summary, index numbers play a critical role in simplifying complex data and providing clear insights in trends. This is the important thing. They nicely show what is the trend. Are things increasing or going down? All right, and changes over time. Okay, it's always over time. All right, now you have two types of indexes. You have simple and you have composite index numbers. Okay, simple, we're only assessing one variable, whereas with complex, this is where we're assessing a group. Earlier, I gave the example of just my statistics, and then obviously all my modules, business management, information management, and so forth, so forth. Okay, and then there you just got an example. If the price of a commodity was $50 in the base year, last year, let's just call it last year, and 75 is the current or in the current year, all right? The simple price index is 75 over 50 times 100. And there you have your index, okay? Right, so that is that. And this actually, we could have put it in as a percentage. So there we've had 150% increase. Because isn't it 75 now? So it's gone up, isn't it? Are you seeing it? Okay, perfecto. Okay, then here now they're just talking to composite index numbers. And we already defined this. We basically said this is when we have a group of related variables over time. All right. And then here, when it comes to a group of them, we can make a weighting. All right. So in other words, we don't just say we add all of them together. We might say, no, one is more important than the other. So let's take 50% of statistics, 25% of accounting, and then as business management, it's too easy. Let's take 10% of that and 10% of information management, for example. Okay. Now, a practical example of a composite index number is obviously consumer price index. All right. Now I know I'm talking to economic fundies, all right, or experts. All right. So you guys know very well that the consumer price index is made up of things like the price of bread, right? What else is in that basket? Somebody tell me. Is there fuel in that basket? But it's all the basics that most of us would use, isn't it? 100%. So we obviously also assign weights to the things that are most important, okay? All right, then here again, they're now just highlighting the differences, but we actually have been speaking about the differences, okay? Yeah, this I think you guys can go over in your own, but really it's now here we're just doing it from a calculation standpoint. Remember I introduced the concept of the weighting, all right? And we don't always add a weighting when doing complex. Sometimes we'll say all of the variables are equally important, okay? But there you can see even from a calculation standpoint. In summary, composite index numbers provide a broader and more comprehensive view by combining multiple related variables. Okay. All right, then here now they're just talking to weighting and unweighted index numbers. Okay, unweighted index numbers that treat all items equally. We spoke on that. All right, calculation. Here you can see you've got your 3 modules, and these are the different averages across them, and then right. But here they're specifically talking to the price of 3 goods increased by 10%, 20%, and 30%. The unweighted index. Can you see? We haven't said this is 10% important or 50% important on the 10%, and then said this is 70%. Ooh, actually calculate. So if this is 50, then we can say maybe this is 30, and then the last is 20. And then so you literally just say 50% of 10%, and then the other one we said 30 of 20, and then you would say 20 of 30, and that's your weighting. You do that and then divide by 3 and you are home and dry. All right, so here it's obviously unweighted, so we're not bothering with that. So there you have another example of the weighted. Yes. I was just assigning random weights. But the 50%, where I said 50%, it's obviously more important than the ones where there's 30 and 20. Because of just to finish off, sorry, we offer more weighting to the most important one. Yes, or more important. No. These are actual increases. So there's 3 goods that have increased. One was 10%, the other was 20, and the other was 30. Makes sense? Okay. Right. All right, so here you can see they're just defining now with the weight. Okay, and there you can see, as I was saying, relative importance, all right, or contribution. Okay, and yeah, this I don't really like this because here they just said their weights are 1, 2, and 3 respectively. I think they should have actually rather gone with percentages, but that works just as well. Okay, so then here they're just talking to the treatment calculation again. Use cases, unweighted index, suitable when all items have similar importance. We've spoken to this, all right? And then obviously weighted index when things have different levels of importance. Point number 4, important, accuracy and relevance. Unweighted index numbers may not accurately reflect the true change if items vary significantly in importance, okay? So if there's an element of importance to the different variables, if we use unweighted index numbers, or we use an unweighted index calculation, then the accuracy, or let me say the result we get is not a true reflection, okay, where there is importance related to the different variables, okay? So we need to use a weighted where there is an element of importance relating to the respective variables. It says, provide a more accurate and relevant measure by considering the significance of each variable or each item. Make sense? Okay. Don't worry, there's very few. Here now, they're just giving us examples in the real world. Okay, that's all. So this again is stuff you can read. Then these are the formulas that are of relevance to you for your homework and are relevant to you for your, what you call this, for learning unit 2. Okay, there's the quantity, there's the price index here, and then there's the quantity. All right, there's the price index here, and then there's the quantity. These are the 4 formulas I said were of relevance for you. And then here they give you examples. Examples, interpretation, and that is it. Okay, so that's your learning unit 4. 2. I don't think it's available right now. I don't think I've uploaded it, but I'll make it available as soon as we're done with class today. Yes, but you don't need it to be available. You know the formulas you need most. Yes, we may do that. Or you can take a picture and then you share it on the group so that this you have, so you can do your homework. No, I'll do this after class. I'll do it immediately after class. Okay, please share it on the WhatsApp group. Going to the next one. Yes, there's 4. So this is number 2. So this is number 2. Have we taken? Can I move to the next one? Okay. This is number 3. You taken it?
Number 3.
Yes.
Number 2.
Hey. You are definitely not class review. No. Not. How many do you have? Number 1.
No, okay, let me check.
Let's start again.
Okay, wait. No, I have passion. Okay, yes, can I have number?
Okay, number 1. This is number 1, eh?
Okay.
All right. Can I go to number 2? Okay, number 2. So you see, it's the same guy, but one is price. The first one was price index. This one is now quantity. Then we go to the next one. This one again is price. Next one is quantity. Who can read that for us? Lesperus. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's run with that. Okay. So guys, that is literally learning unit 1 and learning unit 2.